Hey guys. Just waiting for, there we go. I'm in. Okay. Just want to make sure that I can see on my phone so I can see your guys' comments as you guys are coming in. Interesting. I'm just going to wait a minute because it's looking pretty funky on my phone. I don't see anyone in live yet. So, oh, there we go. Okay, I'm in. Woo! So hopefully we'll have some people who are able to join us live pretty soon. For those of you who are watching on the replay, go ahead and comment replay below so that I know that you are able to join. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then share my PowerPoint presentation. And I'll take a sip of water while I wait to see if anyone comes online. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. I know that life can get busy, so that is why I made this challenge to where you can watch the replays and just get everything done by tomorrow, which is Friday at noon. So welcome to day 3 of the 3-day side hustle challenge. Today, we are going to be talking about going all in. Now, before I get started, I do want to remind you guys that we still have the VIP ticket option available. So if you want to get access to my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course with coaching workbook, fulfilling 5 printable journal, and then a bonus coaching call, which will occur tomorrow on Friday, then the link should be in the comments like when we're done watching. Just go check it out. It's only $97. You have access to that course for life. So I just wanted to remind you guys that even though the program's still going, you still have access to that ticket if you're interested. So let's look back. It's been 3 days. On day 1, we talked about the mindset to start, and we talked about how important it is to make sure that we are, in the right frame of mind, believing that this is possible, believing that we could do it, and making sure that we remove any barriers that might get in our way. On day 2, we talked about all the possibilities, and so many of you shared all these cool side hustle things that you want to do. And today is where we're going to talk about going all in, and I'm going to have some resources to share with you. I am going to talk about a program that I am offering for those who are interested. And then at the end, we'll have the question for you to answer. So your homework. So if you are just catching this, if maybe like it popped up on your algorithm in Facebook and you have not watched day 1 and day 2, know that you can go back and watch these videos. They're less than 30 minutes each. And if you watch day 1, comment to the question I ask at the end. Watch day 2, comment to the question I asked at the end, and same with day 3. If you do that by tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time, you'll be entered into a drawing to win my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. So let's get going. So in the link somewhere, wherever it is while we're watching, I do have the link to access my free mini course, and it has some downloads. So I want each and every one of you, when we're done, to go click on that button, and I will email you it's a mini course. It's a 1-page PDF, but in this mini course, these are all like little clickable links. So what I'm directing you guys to are these 5 downloads at the bottom. You're welcome to watch the videos. It's kind of a longer version of what we're doing in the challenge, but I want you guys to grab those downloads. So let's talk about how you're going to get started. So the question is, you've addressed your mindset, you figured out what you want to do. So what is best for you moving forward? Are you a self-starter? Are you someone like, okay, I got the information, I'm going to go out there and do it on my own? Or maybe you want to go all in. Maybe you want to be a blogger. I know I talked a lot about blogging yesterday. So if you want to be a self-starter, then you are absolutely going to want to go grab the Getting Started worksheet. And again, this is one of those 5 downloads in that document that I have the link for in the comments, or wherever it is. So the Getting Started worksheet is something that you can print out or do electronically if that is more your jam. And this is where you essentially create a plan for what you're going to do. I really believe when we take things out of our mind and put it on paper and we're able to see, here is what I want to do, here's the steps that I need to do to achieve it, and here's the timeline in which I will do it, we're more likely to have success, right? So on this worksheet, it's pretty simple, 5 questions. First one, just check off which side hustles you're interested in. Next, I think it's really important to address, why do you want to start the side hustle? After that, what do you need to learn more about before you get started? Maybe you need to, maybe you've decided you want to be a blogger, but you're like, oh, I got to learn more about how to do this blogging business. Or maybe you decided you want to be a freelance writer, but you got to learn more about how to actually, how to find gigs. Then there's maybe some skills you need to develop. So you can check off okay, I need to learn more about, I need to up my writing game, or I need to learn how to market, or I need to learn more about the social media business. And then at the bottom, there are spots to write 3 SMART goals. Now, dietitians, we know SMART goals, right? They are, let's see how well I know it. SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So I encourage each and every one of you to write down some SMART goals for your side hustle, what you're going to do next. So important. So we have the Getting Started checklist. And then after that, we have these 4 checklists I made. I've asked the group a lot, what do you guys want? What do you need? I've hopped onto some calls with some of you. And consistently the message I hear from you guys is tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just tell me. So I've made some checklists to essentially help you get started. So these checklists, there's one for freelance writing, one for webinars, one for selling digital goods, and one for courses. So here's just an example of what they look like. This is the freelance writing checklist. So on it, it has, where can you learn more? There are 2 free resources, 1 low-cost resource, and one course. And then some information about how to find writing gigs, some things you can check off as you go, absolutely update your LinkedIn account, let people know you are a writer, and then also, where you're going to research and find, potential places you can pitch. So then at the bottom, there are some action items for you to take. So these checklists, again, there are 4 of them available. When you click on the link to get my mini course, you're going to get access to this 1-page PDF full of hyperlinks. And these downloads, the first one's the Getting Started checklist. And then we have the checklist for freelance writing, webinars, digital goods, courses. So this is for the self-starters who are okay, I got this, I'm going to roll with it. So next, I want to talk to those of you who are interested in going all in as a dietitian blogger. So for the next little chunk of time, I'm going to talk about my Blogging Accelerator Program. And this is essentially a program that helps you to blog as a business. So I made this little pyramid to kind of explain, where are you on the pyramid and where do you want to be? And I use some terminology we're familiar with. I have blogger to be, RD to be. So on the the Blogging Accelerator Pyramid, at the very bottom, we have the blogger to be. This is the dietitian. You're okay, I want to create a blog. I want to have, passive income streams, but I don't even know, what's my niche. I don't even know how to get started. I have no idea, but I know I kind of want to do it. Next up, we have the blogger. Now, this is a dietitian who has a blog. They've hit publish, their website's live on the internet, but they're still trying to figure out how to grow it. Up from there, we have the blog employee, and this is the dietitian who has a blog. They're starting to make money, but they want to continue to grow and scale for more passive income. And I call it blog employee because they're still kind of trading time for money. They're still having to put in the work to get that, to actually have those passive income streams. And finally, at the top, we have the blog boss, and this is kind of where we want to be. And this is where you have a successful blog with multiple streams of income. You are working less and making more. So essentially, if you want to move up the pyramid, if you're at the very bottom, first off, you got to figure out what's your path, and you got to learn how to build that darn blog. From there, you have to learn how to grow the blog, how to actually bring in traffic, and you have to work on building multiple streams of income. From there, you need to make sure that you are, continually have motivation, consistency, and community, because blogging is a long-term game. And then you need to automate, systemize, and hire potentially. And at the very top, I don't think there's any end to our learning and investing in ourselves. So my Blogging Accelerator program is really meant for the bloggers to be, or the bloggers who are not yet, haven't figured out how to monetize their blog yet. So I'm going to walk through the 8 weeks of the program. It's a 2-month program, just under, 8 weeks long. And each week has a theme and how things are done. So I think it's very helpful to talk about the outcomes, what's my takeaway each week? Because this program is very much focused on, here's what you need to know, Now go do it. I tried to make everything in the least amount of time possible because I know dietitian side hustlers have less time. So the time commitment for this program is 2 months, and it consists of 5 to 7 hours of work per week. That includes watching the video, doing the action item. So in week 1, it's the week of discover. You will leave that week with a niche, your brand, and an understanding of business basics. You will have committed. You will have figured out what you're going to do. And week 2, that's the week of build. And you're actually going to leave that week with a website live on the internet. Like live. It's not going to be perfect. You'll have to go, tweak it and make it pretty over time, but the bones will be there. And, sometimes just hitting publish on the website is the hardest part. So we get it done in week 2, we just knock it out. In week 3, it's the week of learn, and you'll leave that week with an understanding of how to actually grow traffic to your blog. In week 4, I call it find the gold. And essentially you're going to leave that week with a list of topics to create blog posts on for your first year or longer of blogging. In week 5, it's called create, and you will leave that with confidence in creating more content in less time. So in that week, I talk about here's how you actually post a blog. So you will have a blog post done in that week. I also have a module on creating more confidence and creating more time, because I've consistently have seen that this is something that dietitians need. We need to work on our confidence, and we need to work on how do I find the time to do these things, and how do I make sure I'm using my time in the best way. Week 6 is nurture, and this is all about beginning to build your online audience. And week 7 is all about dreaming and building a list of products and services you're going to create as you grow your own brand. So if you remember from yesterday, I showed you guys the timeline of the geriatric dietitian from when I pushed publish to when I added this product, I added this product, I added this product. So really coming up with okay, here's what I'm going to do. And then finally in week 8, it's the week of plan. And essentially you will leave this week and leave the 2 months of the program with a strategic plan, moving forward with confidence, excitement, determination, and tenacity. And one thing I want to mention before I forget this, because sometimes I forget to add this piece, is that you do have lifetime access to this program. So if life happens, something comes up, you're in week 6 and, oh gosh, you're taken away and you can't commit, you have access for life. So it's not like a super time crunch, though I do want you to finish it, I would prefer for you to stay on track and try to keep it done, because time gets away from us. So digging a little bit deeper into the program, the Blogging Accelerator actual program is on an online platform called Thinkific. So you will be doing the courses independently. And so you'll go into each week, there'll be a little intro video. It's just me kind of giving you some motivation, inspiration. You'll go through your core learning content. There's going to be a bunch of downloads for you to snag some resources. Essentially everything I've created as I built my blog business, I'm giving to people in the program, because I want you guys to get there faster, easier, all the things. And then finally, each week ends with an action item. And I think this part is the most important part, is actually taking action. It's one thing to learn, it's another thing to do. So this is just a little sneak peek into what the program looks like in Thinkific. So you can see in week 1, intro video, we've got 4 learning concepts. You'll download your resources here, and then your action item actually leads you to our Facebook group. And I'll share that in one second. So the tools and templates, again, I'm not going to go over everything, but there is lots of stuff in here, lots of checklists, workbooks, spreadsheets, templates, just all kinds of things that I've created to help you guys start the blogging game easier. These are just examples of our business starter checklist, my online dietitian volunteer program. And this is how I've been able to find volunteers to help write for my blogs. The program guide, this is my 5 strategies to create more time. It's an actual workbook you can go through to work on getting more time. And then this guy right here is just a snippet of our Facebook group. So I mentioned each week there's an action item. So while you're completing the work independently on your own, each week you will go into the Facebook group and you will share your action item for each week. So here we go in week 1, you'll share your niche and your blog name. So you'll have committed, and you'll share, and that accountability really helps you to, stay motivated to continue the program. So that way you're able to reach your blogging goals. So our Facebook group, guys, it is my favorite part of the Blogging Accelerator program. It is filled with dietitians just like you starting a blog, and they're so amazing. You have access to this group for life because, yes, after 2 months, you got a blog live on the internet. It's ready to monetize as you grow traffic, but it takes continued work, persistence, motivation, and having other people around you. That community is key in ensuring long-term success. And I wanted to show you guys this. I took some little snippets from the group because I think our members are so amazing, but you could just see some of the amazing ways that they support and encourage and motivate each other, like, cranking out the blogs and love your topics. And I love the variety of blogs you're doing. And I love how your site looks. And, I can't wait to see your next article, and just all of this encouragement and support. So that way you just, you have this community, you have this group of cheerleaders behind you to keep going, because blogging is a long-term game. But as I showed you guys, yesterday, even in a period as short as, a year to 2 years, it's really amazing the results you could have. It's just, you gotta get to that point. So, I clicked too fast here. So also included in the program is my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. I've talked a bit about that. Essentially, you'll have a roadmap for your first year of business. It comes with a coaching workbook that you could fill out as you go. It also has my Fulfilling 5 printable journal. And this is something that I just have created, where you could incorporate gratitude daily, making sure you're taking care of your whole health, your whole self, and a space for journaling. The next part is the Fast Track Blog Builder. I created this because I understand how hard it is to build a blog that you can monetize. So I walk you through how I built my websites, and I'm going to show you guys really quickly what this looks like, because it comes with a workbook, and I want to show you how simple I intended to make it for you guys. So this program, it includes about 2 hours worth of videos, and then 3 hours of action time. So about 5.5 hours for you to build your blog. Again, build the bones of the blog. We're not talking about like super crazy fancy website. It's like the bones are there, and over time you could tweak little things here and there. So essentially how it's designed is there's 14 lessons. I've kept them as short as I could. And this includes watching the videos and doing the thing. And there's one module that's like 2 hours, but that's just the nature of like, this part is where you really have to dedicate some time to do it. But most of it's very short. So it's designed, you sit down, you watch the video, you take action. So this is an example with lesson 1. You watch a video for 8 minutes, 7 minutes of action time, 15 minutes total. I've got the link to where you need to go, what you need to do, and some tips to make it easier. So essentially, I made this Fast Track Blog Builder to make it so simple for you guys to build your blog, because I understand that this tech struggle is real. And then finally, we have live Q&A calls. For those of you who will be joining for cohort 5, it is starting on Monday, the 12th. We are going to have a live call there, like kind of a welcome call. But from there, I do have monthly live Q&A calls for people in the program, where you can ask questions, be inspired, be motivated, and just, again, that support to help keep you on track. So pulling it all together, the Blogging Accelerator program includes the 8-week online course, over 15 tools and resources, which I continue to add to, lifetime access to our Facebook group and the program, the Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, dietitian workbook, Fulfilling 5 printable journal, blog builder course, blog builder workbook, and then our live Q&A calls valued at over $5,000. And I do have some bonuses I want to mention. So this is something I made the last go around, and I've created a free Canva template library. So these are some things, especially for those of you who are like, oh man, I really struggle with the creative piece and making, like handouts or making, social media posts, or I want to make an ebook. So I've provided some templates for things that I've created over the last couple of years, including the template that I use for my ebooks. And then bonus number 2 is everyone who signs up for the Blogging Accelerator program has the opportunity to be an affiliate. What that means is you take the program, you see success, you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I need to tell other people about this. If you tell other people about it and they go through your affiliate link, then you get 40% of sales into the program. And so there you go, right off the bat, you have your first stream of income where you can start making money sooner than later. So pulling it all together, here's just a little picture of everything. And if I were to summarize what the Blogging Accelerator program is, it's really designed to help you stop dreaming and start doing. It's a step-by-step how to do the thing. It provides accountability, support. It encourages you to take imperfect action, and you will be building your own brand. So I mentioned that the Blogging Accelerator program is $5,000. The program, or valued at $5,000, the price of the program is $1,997. And again, the 5th cohort starts on July 12th. But I am super excited to be offering our last chance special. So this is the last chance to save $1,000 on the program. After that, the price will go up permanently. I will not be offering discounts in the future. So you can get access to the entire program, which you have access to for life, for $997. Now, the link is going to be wherever the text is in this video, and I'll put it probably below in the comments. But you do have to use coupon code last chance to take that 50% off. And the coupon code does work for the payment plan. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I want in, but I don't have $997, you can get started today for as little as, $98, I believe is what it comes out to. It doesn't cost more for the payment plan. It's just spread out over 10 months. So, and I have the last chance code in the text, so you don't have to worry about like, what was that code again? So you guys, are you ready? Are you guys ready to start blogging? If you are, click on the link or visit dietitiansidehustle.com// sales page. If you're on the fence, if you're like, okay, Katie, this sounds cool, but I'm not entirely sure, then you can apply for a free strategy session with me. There's going to be a link below. There's also a link on that website page. And I am available Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I do have limited spots, but there's an application you could fill out. And once you do that, I'll send you a link to get scheduled and we'll get you on the books and we can hop on a 15-minute call and chat and figure out like, is this program the right fit for you? And if you're like, this sounds cool, but not entirely for me, you could always help by spreading the word, because I have a vision of creating a world where essentially anytime someone Googles something related to a nutrition topic, it pulls up a blog article by a registered dietitian, because it helps the public to get correct information and it helps dietitians because there's so much money to be made online. So that is my dream and that is my vision, to where, you know, there's 10 spots on the first page of Google. I want every single one of those spots for any nutrition topic out there online to be filled by dietitians. So that is my vision and dream. So I do want to throw in here that there are additional costs for blogging. The reality is it costs money to create a website, but the cool thing is it's not a lot of money. If you were going to be starting like maybe a private practice, that's a lot of money if you're doing like brick and mortar, like for rent and all the things. The overhead for being online is very minimal, but I do want you guys to know, if you want to start a website, it would cost about $94 for the first year. And that would be $12 for your domain name. That's like the www.websitename.com. And then for the first year of site hosting, I recommend SiteGround. If that makes no sense, that's okay. When you get in the program, you'll figure it out. But that costs $84 for the first year. Optional fees would include a keyword research tool that I use. It's only $13.60 per month. And then Canva Pro, although with the technique I teach you in the program, you'll have keywords to write about for the first year. And Canva has a free version, but I want to make sure that's super clear. So let's talk really quickly about what some of our bloggers have to say. So I'm going to go through this really quick, but we have here, Sunui shared that the Blogging Accelerator Program was a great source of support, information, and inspiration, and she recommends the course if you want to see results. So Grace shares that she was a newbie to blogging and it was so overwhelming, but she was appreciative of the checklist and all the steps to keep it simple. And Maria shared that the program gave her the encouragement she needed to get started and to keep her on track. She noted that it's so easy to say it's too hard or I'm too busy, and she felt that the program provided the resources and support that she needed to succeed. And then finally, a couple snippets from different students in our program as they were finishing. So Susie shared that she was just appreciative of the valuable resources and was excited to be a part of the community. Kimberly found that the resources were so helpful, and you know, just gotta figure out how am I going to keep accountable moving forward. Ashley finished the program and she was just so excited too. And then finally, Elizabeth said that it feels so good to embrace perfectly imperfect and have things done. And I love that. So again, I just mentioned this before, that my dream is I want to help dietitians become bloggers so that every time someone searches a nutrition related topic, it pulls up a blog written by one of us so the public gets correct information. And so we make the money, because there is so much money to be made online. So that was my spiel. Thank you guys so much for listening. Your assignment for day 3 is, what action item are you committed to taking over the next week? So maybe your action item is, okay, I'm gonna grab that little mini course, I'm gonna grab the downloads, and I'm gonna fill out that getting started checklist. I'm gonna actually take these dreams out of my head and I'm gonna write them down. Or maybe you are like, okay, I want to do freelance writing, or maybe the webinars, and you're going to commit to completing one of those specific checklists. Maybe you're like, I'm all in for the Blogging Accelerator Program, Katie, like sign me up. And maybe your action item is to sign up for the program. Or maybe your action item is, I'm curious about this program. Let's sign me up for one of those, you know, those free strategy sessions. So whatever your action item is, guys, I want you to write it below. Write down what action you are committed to taking over the next week. And the thing about this challenge, guys, I will be following up with you in 1 week to see if you did the thing. Because so often, like, we join a challenge like this, we're so excited, we want to do the thing, but then life gets busy, things happen. But I just know that when there's accountability, if you know, like, oh man, Katie's going to message me in a week and ask if I did it, then that'll help, you know, put a little fire behind you to get the thing done. So I do that in a loving way to support you guys. So right below what action you're committed to taking over the next week. And I will be following up with you in a week to see if you did the thing. So You guys, we did it. Congratulations. You made it through day 1, mindset to start, through day 2. We talked about all the side hustle possibilities. And day 3, we talked about going all in, whether you're going to be a self-starter, fill out those checklists, or you want to go all in as a blogger through the Blogging Accelerator Program, utilizing that last chance special to save 50% off the program. So you guys, make sure that you comment below, right? What did I tell you? Write your action item. And then if you watch all 3 videos, comment on all 3. Tomorrow by noon Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to come live in the group and I'm going to do that drawing to see who wins the Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for joining. This has been so much fun. And again, if you guys have questions moving forward, you just let me know. I'm so grateful to have you guys in the community, and best of luck as you get started on your side hustle. Bye, guys.